it's Ashley Cunningham here, and I'm really excited to be channeling Gaia for you today on specifically waterfalls and what we can do near waterfalls, or how we can use waterfalls in our meditation practices to help with energy work. And I want to call this out because I want to show you guys how sometimes things kind of come together for me. It was really interesting. I had a coworker at work who every Friday shares emails, just one email every Friday about a different topic. And she last Friday shared an email about waterfalls, and she shared a bunch of pictures of beautiful waterfalls. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it just really was highlighted for me and really stuck out to me. And I realized that living in Oregon, I'm very privileged in that I have waterfalls all over the state, and I get to see beautiful waterfalls quite frequently, actually. Whenever I go hiking or go out into my favorite forests or go to the coast where I live, I get to see waterfalls every single time, and I really treasure those experiences. I find waterfalls absolutely amazing, and I just have always loved them. So it really stood out to me. And then Gaia came to me a little bit later that day and said she wanted to speak on waterfalls and how waterfalls can help us in our energy practice. And she's now saying that some of this may come across as no-brainer or common sense, but it's important to call out the benefits of being in a space like near a really beautiful waterfall, because she's saying it enriches our physical and subtle bodies, so our physical body as well as our emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. And it's a space of great power and great energy for various reasons. And so she's excited to share, and she hopes that you take away from this channeling. She's saying she wants you to really get a hankering to go and sit by a waterfall, and she would highly encourage you to drive out to a waterfall if you have waterfalls near you, and if you don't, you can also connect with waterfall energy in a really cool way through visualization and meditation, and she's going to talk about that as well, she says later on in this video. So she's now turning to being in the presence of a beautiful waterfall. And waterfalls don't always have to be beautiful. They just have to be waterfalls. They are just what they are. And by their falling or moving quickly over, she's saying over cliffs or hillsides, or however it happens, however it takes place, the water flowing is a source of energy in and of itself, but it also is very symbolic to the energy that is moving in that area around the waterfall. So she's saying it's not only just the energy of the waterfall itself coming down and then going forward at the bottom of the the drop. It's also showing you visually how the energy in the space in that area moves through the rocks, through the trees, through the landscape to channel downwards and to move around. And so she's saying her energy is not just on the surface of the rocks, surface of the plants. It is the rocks and plants and water. So it moves through everything, but there's a lot of energy that collects on top as well that is just a part of being in a forest or being in a space where this waterfall is existing. And so she's wanting you guys to get the idea that being near a waterfall kind of puts you in that flow of the energy as it's moving through the landscape. It's going down the mountain or down the side of the hill, or however it's taking place, a cliff or whatnot. It's being at the bottom or being on the side of it or at the top of it, and being near that space is you kind of jumping into an energy stream. And that totally makes sense to me, because being just near that that waterfall, or any waterfall that I've been near, I always get and feel a shift of energy within my body, within all of my bodies, and it makes sense that it's increasing when you are physically in close proximity to that waterfall. She is saying you can, in your mind, if you are not able to physically be in a location where there's a waterfall, you can send your own spiritual body, basically like astral project. And you can send your mind, you can send your spirit to that waterfall, whichever one that really resonates for you. Maybe it's one of your childhood, maybe it's one that you've just seen on the internet that just seems really beautiful. You can send yourself to that place and place yourself in that energy, and you can connect and be in that space without having to be there physically. She's saying you can do this with any other natural feature as well. Waterfalls are a great focal point for us, and it's also an energetic focal point, so it's very easy for us to connect and be in that space. She's saying that also when you are physically near a waterfall, your senses, your clair senses and physical senses are being refreshed. There's just so much energy there that it kind of gets blasted clear and offers a means of refreshment and grounding, and you are then able to more clearly connect because you're in that energetic space and you're in that space of just kind of being blasted with just the beautiful energy of Gaia herself right there, and all of the other energies that are just coming through and flowing through, the wind, the water energy, just all the natural elements that you'll find in this focal point space, this waterfall area. It's very, very powerful. She's saying just seeing it in person is enough. You don't have to be like under the waterfall or at the top of the waterfall or at the bottom, or you don't have to see it from a specific angle, but being near it, being in that space, you can feel the shift easily. And I'm thinking back now on a lot of the waterfalls that I saw last year. I saw a ton of waterfalls, not a ton, but like many waterfalls in Eastern Oregon, and then also where I live in more like central on the west coast of Oregon, and right on the coast. There's waterfalls everywhere, and it's just really beautiful space. And I have a lot of waterfalls available to me, so I'm very lucky. But going to those spaces, or just even being by them, I always feel a shift. I feel more grounded, and I feel just deeply connected to Gaia in those spaces. So she's saying this is not a coincidence. I just thought I liked waterfalls and thought I connected to just Gaia herself. But she's saying that the space of waterfalls has an energy, it's an energy center, it's a focal point. So if you're in a space where you can access a waterfall, go on a drive, go check out a waterfall, use that time when you're near that energy to get a really deep meditation in. If you can just sit quietly for however long you like to meditate, call her in, just get a sense of the energy flow, in the space itself. Like, where is this energy coming from? Where is it going? How does it interact with the other energies in the area? And she's showing me specifically Multnomah Falls in outside of Portland, Oregon. I don't live right by there, but I do sometimes have an occasion to go drive out to it, and I absolutely love Multnomah Falls. And you can go climb. It's like a mile hike up the mountain to the very top, and you can be right by the lip where the water comes out. And I will be posting a picture. I'll add a picture somehow. It's just really amazing, very, very powerful. Before I had opened my channels, I loved Multnomah Falls. I just always loved being there. I never really felt like everything that Gaia has just said, like open or anything like that. But once I started opening and I started awakening and my senses started opening, whenever I go there, I feel a wash of this energy, and it's very earthy. It's of Gaia, but it's also of my team, my ancestors. I get a lot of just amazing love poured over me whenever I go to Multnomah Falls, and I really feel in the trees and the way that the mountain is formed and the way that the water flows and how everything is. It all works together, and it's all working, and that energy's flowing down and moving through, but also there's energy on the side that supports that space and is just bringing in its own energy from all the trees and the animals and the beautiful plants. And it's just a very powerful place. I also felt just that majestic energy when I got to see all the beautiful waterfalls in Iceland. There are so many waterfalls, and I was really grateful to see a majority of the really big ones that you should go and see when you visit. And Skogafoss is my absolute favorite waterfall. You can walk right underneath it. It's right there, and it's just so powerful and beautiful, and I loved connecting with it, and I again felt that energy just wash over me, just like history. I don't know, I get a deep sense of history when I see waterfalls. I'm going to ask Gaia, why is that? She's saying it's my own connection to my team, my ancestors, my past life experiences, the energy that seeped into the land where I have had those experiences, like near Multnomah Falls and Skogafoss. I'm able to pick up on a lot of that energy, those energy signatures that are there, and so that's what I'm connecting to, which is really interesting. I'm going to have to explore that more. Every time I do a channeling, I always find a little tidbit to go do more research or connect more for my own spiritual practice and development. That's how it unfolds, guys. She's laughing at me now. She's like, little by little, each of you will open and expand more as you continue to seek guidance and continue to turn your attention to spirit and high vibrational frequency. And she's just clapping her hands, and she's kind of done now. So I'm asking her now, what for those of you who maybe don't have access to a waterfall nearby, visualizing, sending yourself there, pick a waterfall that you have always wanted to see. I know there's a waterfall, I never can remember where it's at or what the name of it is, but it's like a ton of waterfalls, and it's in South America somewhere. I gotta research it, and I'll try and link it below. Or so I I'm going to try that visualization technique and send myself there and see what comes out of that experience. But definitely using waterfalls as an energy center, as a focal point for you in your own meditation is beneficial. And she's saying Gaia will be present in that experience, and you will get a deep grounding. And she's saying you will feel refreshed. And so she's asking you to please do this whenever you can. And if you find that this is something that brings you great joy, incorporate it into your everyday spiritual practice. And she's just sending you all a lot of love. And she's now doing a deep grounding on me, and I'm just feeling so grounded and relaxed and calm and refreshed. And I just really appreciate you, Gaia, and your energy, and I love you so much. And she's just kind of twinkling her eyes at me, and she's saying thank you to all of you, and I'm saying thank you to all of you for joining us. And if you have any questions about this, or about the meditation, or about how a waterfall can benefit you, feel free to post it in the comments below. And yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations on anything else that you would like Gaia to chime in on. I'd love to take questions. And she's just saying thank you all. And she's stepping back now. So thank you guys so much. Love and light to you all, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.